Young T.O, I want to welcome you to the show Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. As you all know, as we have one of the best from Vallejo, California on the show here tonight. Just dropped a brand new album On My Momma, Three Angels and Demons. How are you feeling, man?
Yeah, on my mama, three angels and demons out right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cooling. I ain't on nothing much. Chilling.
Just chilling out. Now, why was this the one that you wanted to make a trilogy? When we look at the Carters with Lil Wayne, he made the Carters into a trilogy. You have Nas slowly turning that with the King's Disease. He just dropped King's Disease 2. Why is this one, On My Momma, the one that you wanted to be the trilogy?
Uh, Mainly because it was like my first not my first project I put out, but like my first project that's like counted and like on all platforms and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my like original sound project, like because I like to do all different kinds of shit. So usually when I come with the On My Momma, that's how they know, like, okay, this that original West Coast T.O sound.
Ineffable. That was a flip to Nelly's "Loving Me" off of Country Grammar.
For surely.
Crazy. Did you grow up on Country Grammar? Was that one of the albums that was heavy in your playlist in the rotations?
I ain't gonna lie, as a youngin, you definitely had to know about Nelly and the Saint Lunatics and all that for sure. Most definitely. My uncle Ricky, he used to slap it heavily, like in his whip. Like every time I get on my dad's side, every time I get on his in his car, he'd be off that Nelly. So yeah, I for surely heard it a lot coming up. Most definitely. I was just into music, period. So I just heard all kinds of music growing up.
And actually, your uncle's was the one that introduced you to music, really, because even when you're younger, you were hearing "All Eyes on Me" played. Tupac was played around you a lot as well.
Yeah, no, most definitely. My uncle, and both my uncles, my uncle Lamont and my uncle G-Rod, they both was into music. Like my uncle Lamont, he was like the rapper and stuff. Like he was the one rapping, and then my uncle G-Rod, he did like all the beats and stuff like that. So that's really where I got my main influence from to like want to do it, because I'm seeing them do it. So it just making me want to do it.
Is it fair to say when you think of Tupac that Tupac is the most important hip hop artist of all time? In my opinion, he is, because when you think of hip hop, he really is the face of hip hop. Tupac.
Yeah, to me personally, I say so. Cause hold on right quick. You feel me? Just the stuff that he was talking about, like, and just what he stood for. You know, everybody be thinking it's just all about like some ignorant shit or just some gangster shit, but it's really some black shit, like some struggle shit, some minority shit in America type shit. So it's really bigger than just the simplicity of it. But you know, everybody, some people see it like that, some people don't, some people only see one side. But if you really pay attention, he was really giving to you the full spectrum of the whole world for real.
Mm-hmm. What made you think? Because when you talk about him talking about minorities and what was going on in America, we're talking about songs "Brenda's Got a Baby," "Dear Mama." Then you get into the other songs where this is the Thug Life Tupac. Why do you think he went that route? Do you think that Suge Knight kind of had some say into what had he kind of inspired the way he started moving into the Thug Life route? Would you say that was why?
Nah, cause he was on Thug Life before he met Suge. Like he and May got on like some MOB type of time, but as far as Thug Life is concerned, that was way before Suge. That was Me Against the World. That was strictly for
That's
my
right.
niggas. That was way before Suge. So yeah.
I think you're right about that. And everyone, people that ask about Tupac when he switched his theme, you kind of think about it. He really didn't, as you said, that he had it before with the "Me Against the World." You saw that he always had that in him, that side of him. And but his
Mm-hmm.
important message was the "Brenda's Got a Baby" and the "Dear Mama." The thing changes most importantly too.
Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, it's just like media play a big part in everything too. Like if media only want to show you something or show you one thing, then that's just what they're gonna show you. Ain't no, they not gonna show everything else that you're doing behind the scenes if that's not what they want to do.
We talk about the importance of Tupac. I think in your flip to Nelly song "Loving Me," I think he played a big part in changing the hip hop scheme, because rappers singing rapping, he kind of made that the way in a way. He made it popular.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Nelly definitely one of the original outside of like Nate Dogg, I
That's
would say.
right. Nate Dogg was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace. Why did you choose the subtitle "Angels and Demons"? Why is that for this for "On My Momma 3"?
Cause I say like last year, 2020, like with all the shit that was going on, I really was gonna drop a project called Angels and Demons for real. Just cause personally, everybody got their own beliefs and shit of what they think or how they feel or what get them through the world or whatnot. But it's just like in my mind, this shit is just all like negative, positive, God, the devil, like you feel me? You can't get one without the other. So it's just like accepting the good with the bad and just knowing they come as one instead of just trying to be one-sided with it. You gotta take both of them because it ain't no getting away from either one.
I like how you went into the spiritual sense. Now, being an artist, and because everyone goes through their ups and downs in life, from just being a successful artist in this game, one of the best in the game, that is, how do you feel as though you can manifest the positive things that come in your life? And this is on the side of when we talk about angels, because we want the positives to come, even though we go through more, I'd probably say more negatives in life, because you have to grind out to where you want to be. And there's a lot of hardships in
For
that.
sure. And at the end of the day, God sent his only begotten son to send the wild into the ways of the man. So you got to understand what Jesus came down here for was to turn this shit up. So we basically living in hell. If you really think about it, like we pretty much living in it. So of course then that's how you make your way to all the positive shit and all the good shit and all that shit is if you get spiritual. Like you don't got to get religious with your shit or no shit like that, like, or pick this, but you gonna have to get spiritual to see a higher power, understand a higher power to not let all the negative shit affect you. If you don't want to just be getting high as fuck off drugs and using that to take away whatever it is you got going on. If you want to be able to face it yourself, then you're gonna have to get connected with a higher power in order to, you feel me, maneuver through certain shit. Cause at the end of the day, you can't put your faith in men. You can't put nothing in men because they always gonna let you down. And not men as in a man, but even women, just humans in general. Like they always gonna let you down. You feel me? Like everybody got their own shit going on. And most majority of people in the world is more focused on themselves than everybody else. So they don't got enough time or understanding to be what you want them to be at all times that you want them to be to fulfill what you need fulfill within yourself. You got to find that on your own.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. Man, but how was your 2020 and now into this year? You're dropping the album. How was your 2020? Because you were going to drop a project last year, which was Angels and Demons, but it ended up being I'm On My Momma 3 for this year. But how was your 2020 despite everything going on in the world? Because we still have COVID out here with this other variant going on, the Delta one, and it's the numbers are growing worse out here.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I say last year, I ain't gonna lie, I just had got out my deal with Interscope last year. So pretty much I just been on my grind for real, just like figuring like, you know what I'm saying, all of this music industry shit out, like just like when it comes to distribution, marketing, just different little shit. I just been pretty much focused in on that because we ain't had no shows or no shit. We wasn't able to do shows and then so, and they just had to figure all that out, put mainly all my energy into that. But now like that we in 2021, like shit starting to open back up a little bit. I personally don't think shit's sweet out here though, because I've caught that COVID shit twice. I had that shit once before last year, March, before they like said that it was COVID and all that shit. Like I had caught that shit and I was like, couldn't move and shit, some weird shit. But I ain't know that it was COVID until that shit came out or whatnot. So when that shit happened, I was chilling. Like when I was cooling, like I wasn't fucking with nobody, talking to nobody, going out, nothing, because I already knew what the shit do. Like I knew it was real because I already had it. So then this year, 2021, for 420, I had went to fuck with my nigga Pac-Man for 420 at this little signing thingy, pop-up shop shit. Niggas smoking, chilling, whatever, I go to the little spot, give me a burrito, whatnot, bouncing the Uber, get to where I'm going. And I just start getting hella chills and shit. Like I just start being hella hot and cold at the same time. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Then the next day, I wake up and I still got it. Nigga, sore as fuck. Nigga, low coughing. Nigga, like got that shit again. So I'm like, I ain't fucking with it.
Man, if I were you, I'd stay trapped in where you are right now. You might get it a third time with the Delta thing. Stay away from people, man. I'm
Man,
telling
nah,
you.
for sure. Everybody got to keep their mask on and social distance for sure. And a lot of motherfuckers think it's sweet right now. So a lot of people ain't wearing their mask and shit. But
No, and they aren't.
shit,
And I think you're a testament to say you better mask up and don't think that you can't get this again, because you're actually the first person I've heard this from that's been on my show. A lot of rappers that have been on the show have had it already. You had it. You're the first rapper to be on my show that had it twice. This is the first time I've talked to someone that's had it twice, which is insane.
yeah, I had that shit twice for sure. And I ain't gonna lie, that shit get worse the next time. Cause the first time I ain't have chills and all that shit, I just was sore as fuck, like my back and like feel like the inside of my back like hella like stiff or some shit like that. But this time the nigga was out of there, bro. That shit was not smooth at all. Like
that's not good.
I definitely don't want it a third time because now they talking about this like
Delta
I don't know.
thing.
I guess it's the same COVID, but it might be a different COVID. I don't know, but somehow, some way, this shit ain't got more potent there. Like now, it's affecting the young motherfuckers. Like at first, it was just like the old people get sick, all that. Now it's like hella young motherfuckers in the hospital just doing super bad. So it's just like, yeah, that shit's not it.
Yeah, and performances, they're canceling concerts all over the place. I'm hoping your performances will still be on. Do you have some performances coming up this year later on?
Yeah. I got some shit coming up in October. I got this 2 festivals. I know I'm supposed to be probably at this festival in Tucson, Arizona. I think it's like the West Coast Music Festival. Then it's like this Welcome to the West Festival out here in like California towards like LA, like in October. So yeah, hopefully that shit go smooth, everything go good.
I'm hoping. These cases keep growing. We're back to where we were last year. Now, did you at this point, now that you've had it twice, did you get the vaccine?
I ain't gonna lie. Nah, cause see, number one, I don't trust it, especially after that Johnson and Johnson shit went down. Then another reason is because I seen on the news on CNN, they was talking about how basically if you got to do community service, instead of doing community service, they'll let you get the COVID vaccine. So to me, that don't sound even at all. Because if it's like you want me to do, I'm supposed to be suffering doing this community service. So if the equal to this is a COVID vaccine, that means I'm supposed to suffer from this vaccine too. So I'm not fucking with it.
That's insane. To be honest, I've taken a step away from the news because I just can't take it anymore.
It's some different every time. They got some new shit, every time, bro.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, thank God that Trump's out of office, but I still can't watch it. It's unbelievable. But On My Mom at 3 is all that matters here. You're independent. You got out of your deal with Interscope. How's it feel to finally be independent? And just talking about RBE and being in your group back in the day, how's it feel to be a solo artist? You don't have to rely on anyone. You have creative freedom. Now is where you can really direct and say how you want to go forth in your path.
Yeah, nah, for sure. It's dope. It's definitely dope being independent and shit because you like you saying, you get to do your shit how you want to do your shit. But I say the main thing is though, just like first starting off, you gotta learn the game. You gotta peep the game, figure the game out. Cause coming from like a major label with all these connections and all this money and all this shit, you don't gotta really do too much. All you gotta do is just go in the studio, record. They fuck with, whatever. Do it how you gotta do it. Set up, get your rollout going, get your date when the time come, and you ain't gotta worry about nothing else. They gonna make sure that shit do what it do. Compared to when you independent, you gotta go in the studio, you gotta get the music right, you gotta get the videos, you gotta get the rollout, the marketing plan, the budgets out your own pocket. So it's just like you gotta wear hella different hats instead of just being an artist and just focusing on that. You gotta do the whole complete job. You gotta be everybody.
And I've heard that you want to link up with Hit Boy and Zaytoven. Those are two people that you want to link up with.
Yeah, for sure. No, most definitely. Me and Hit Boy, we definitely gonna get in there. He been doing his Nas thing. I think he got a project with Pac-Man coming. So, you know, it's just everything be timing. But nah, me and Hit Boy definitely we finna do one for sure, for sure. That's
You
set in stone. It's just when the time right, when everything aligned, but it's definitely gonna happen.
you got to get something on there with Hit Boy and Nas. I think that would be legendary.
Man, for sure. I gotta just keep doing my shit, man. I just gotta keep doing my shit, man. He gonna fuck with me sooner or later. I gotta keep doing my shit. If it ain't on the first one, it might be on the second one.
Yeah,
He gonna come across it. I'm gonna just keep doing my shit, and then somehow, some way, it's gonna come across his eyes and shit. He gonna fuck with it.
Now I'm from New York, so I'm really strict when it comes to hip hop. I want the bars. That's New York. We look at New York. You got the bars. Of
Most
course,
deaf.
we're in the Bay Area. They have their own sound. This is
Yeah.
something that I love about the Bay Area. What you do, Neff the Pharaoh, you keep it real. This is a continuation of what Mac Dre and E-40 did back in the day. The thing about New York now, they're all turning to the Atlanta sound, which I'm not a fan of. Everyone jumps on that one sound. I like the territorial sound because when I listen to you, automatically that's the Bay Area. What's your take on how hip hop has kind of just became all collaboration at once with sounds?
Um, I personally feel like me personally, like I got my own style with my shit.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you can't be too stuck in your ways either though. Cause like that's why like me personally, I got a heavily like my whole family on my dad's side and my mama's side came from the South. So they are from Arkansas and from Oklahoma. So well, Oklahoma's like Midwest-ish type shit. But anyway, they came from the South though. So um they heavy accented pig feet, hog mogs, chitlins, you know, all that nasty shit. So me personally, I was heavily influenced by the South, even though I came up in the Bay. And like my uncle sound and all that shit, he was just heavily South influenced with his shit. So me being influenced by him, I kind of pick up that sound a little bit. But then I got the Tupac side of shit to where it's just like all West Coast out. So it's just like I personally like to blend. I like a blend between the two. Like I might do some this type of shit, then I might do this type of shit. But just what I noticed out my own eyes is like at the big festivals and shit, like they be fucking with like with our shit. They fuck with our shit heavily, like our West Coast shit, our Bay Area shit. They fuck with that shit super duper heavily. But what I also notice is if you don't got that certain kind of beat, like that just heavy beat with them like certain shit, like if you don't got that at a certain tempo to where they could really just do this right here, like they gonna fuck with it regardless. Like they gonna fuck with it regardless. Like whatever, however you coming, if you coming with your West Coast, you feel me? You feel me? They gonna fuck with that too. But if you got one of them, like, and how I noticed it, cause like anti is a major hit, right? But then it's like when we perform Paramedic though, it's so it's like, even though that's still Paramedic, still like West Coastish, but at the same time, it's more like a global sound to it. It's not just West Coast. It's like a global sound to it. Like, so I just noticed personally how the people at them shows react. Like, yeah, the people when you ride in your whip, they want to hear that player music, that you feel me. But when you at these shows and these big festivals, they trying to lose their shit and go crazy and dun 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 like that. Like, bro, they off hella X and shit, all this, all they trying to feel the bass. They trying to go up. Like, you feel me? So I like to cater to my people with my shit, but then at the same time, shit, I'm trying to get up there and have people going crazy with my shit too. Like, you feel me? So I'm gonna fuck around a little bit. You feel me? Like, if that's what they want, that's what they want. I think that you should have your own distinctness though. Like, even if you do hop on one of these kind of beats or this kind of sound, you should still be able to know, like, okay, that's T.O, that's da-da-da-da-da. Like, the beats and shit be similar these days because that's what be making the songs, but the person on top, besides the auto-tune, they bringing their own shit to it though. So I think you just gotta get past like the similar sounds and the similar beats and shit, and really see what somebody's saying and what they really talking about. Even though you do got a lot of motherfuckers out here who ain't talking about nothing. You do got that. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes if you really listen, you could differentiate one from the other, and you could tell, like, okay, he just one of them ones who trying to sound like him, and then you could tell, like, oh, nah, he really that. He's a wave creator, like,
yeah,
feel me? For sure.
And that's what you are. You're a wave creator. A lot of these other artists out here, I don't know about it. And I think T-Pain spoke about it in his Instagram clip that went viral.
Yeah.
I think that was important. You needed a figurehead speaking about that. I think it's all about individuality, having an individuality, because it works out better for the artist.
That's what we forgot too, T-Pain, bro. That's a big major reason why everybody coming how they coming out too. T-Pain really, because like, say for instance, like with the Nate Dogg type shit, like he was really real deal vocal with his shit. Like, sometimes I use sometimes on some of my shit I use auto-tune, then like sometimes I don't. Like for this, like for the On My Momma 3, for instance, Angels and Demons, I ain't use auto-tune. I probably use auto-tune on one song, which was this OD with OMB Peasy. But other than that song, and that's just because it was a wavy type song, and that's what they want to fuck with. But on the rest of my songs, I ain't have no auto-tune on my shit. No. Still singing and shit. So it's just like, you know, T-Pain, he came with the heavy auto-tune shit. So that just made everybody just go auto-tune. You don't even gotta know how to sing. Just make it sound good with that.
Get It How You Live is a perfect example of not using auto-tune. That
for sure.
Good on that one.
Yeah, I ain't used no auto-tune on that Get It How You Live at all, for sure. No.
And Demon Talk was the one that you really went in on. That was
I ain't gonna lie. See that Demon Talk, I was in it, like I said, in the get the tripping off that Remy. Like, I was just in a booth in the studio. I had a bottle of Remy. I was just throwing that shit back. I probably drunk like damn near the whole bottle type shit, like just out of there, like drunk as fuck. Like, I don't even know how I recorded the song. I was so gone. Like, I don't even really remember. I don't even remember recording the song. I was so gone. It was one of them songs to where it was just like an out of body experience song. It's just straight. Yeah, that's one of them. Like, that's why, like, when you listen to it, you could just feel it and you could hear it. Just like the way my voice and shit is just like, that's that Demon Talk. That's that, boy. I ain't even, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, that's that heavy on it.
Yeah, you did your thing on that track, and that's the one that's probably my favorite one that you have on the whole tape, just based off the energy, because that's the one you were really going in on. And that's what I like. I like those aggressive hip hop tracks. And
so,
is that the one that you're looking forward to performing most once you get out there on that stage?
Yeah, I know that people gonna go up to that for sure, most definitely. It'd be crazy because it'd be like, though, it'd be crazy because it'd be like a 50-50, it'd be like a 50-50 thing. It'd be like, some people would hear that and be like, oh, I don't want to hear that shit. I want to hear that other shit, the singing mellow type shit. Then some people hear the singing mellow shit and be like, man, this shit too depressing. I'm trying to hear some energy yelling shit. So you gotta just know that that's just what come with it, and just give them everything. Like, you feel me? Supply everything. So if you don't like this, you might like that. If you don't like that, you might like this.
Yeah. We got to get into the Black Panther soundtrack. That's epic. That's huge. You're part of, and it's just not an ordinary soundtrack. This is probably one of the biggest movies of all time. You think about it, that Black Panther was huge when that dropped, and the fact that you were part of that and people remember that, that's history.
For sure, most definitely. And besides, of course, the major crazy big songs with The Weeknd and all that kind of shit. But
no, people know your song.
But just based off people really listening to the project, like, that's one of the people's favorite songs off the whole project. Even though you got these big major songs and big major artists on there, it's like we still stood out. Like they still was able to fuck with it.
Now, for people that don't know, how did that all come about? The fact that you were on this soundtrack.
Kendrick had ended up reaching out to us, and our managers had just ended up telling us, like, they ain't even tell us what we was doing. They just had us go to the studio. When we got there, Kendrick was in there type shit. So that shit was dope. But it was like, it's just like one of those things to where, you know, like the Killmonger shit, like he supposed to be from the Bay, from Oakland. You feel me? So it's just like, even we not from Oakland, we from Vallejo, but like we a representation of the Bay Area. So it's like, who better to get on here for some young niggas that's not Too Short or E-40? Who better to get on here for some young niggas to just give you that vibe and show you, like, put you in their world. At the time, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't get why he wanted us to just do what we do, don't do nothing. I didn't get it at first. I'm thinking like, okay, he don't want us to do nothing because they not finna use this shit. Like, that's why he's saying just go in there and just do anything type shit, because this shit, they not gonna use this shit. But then once it came out and shit, I got the full picture of it. That's why that nigga's goated the way he is. It's because it's like, nah, he didn't want us to do nothing but what we do that shit, because that's what got to get across in this. Like, once it get to that part of it, like, you got to understand where Killmonger coming from, like what the Bay is like, you feel me?
No, but congratulations. That's history for you. We all know the Nipsey Hussle story and how much you looked up to him, and as much as important part he played not only on hip hop but in the world as just a leader, an activist. And I think it's so surreal that he showed you his phone and you were in his playlist. That's huge.
Sure. For sure. That shit was inspiration, bro. Cause just growing up as a young nigga, just looking up to him, like, you know, to me, he was like the closest thing to Tupac, like, we had type shit. Cause just the way he kept it, like, it didn't matter, like, and he was giving you the game, the blueprint. And it was plenty motherfuckers who took his blueprint and probably blew past him. But he ain't never get like salty or nothing. He saluted everybody, like, because he knew his time was gonna come, so he wasn't worried about it. He just wanted to see everybody win. And that's kind of like how I try to model myself. Like, I try to model myself after that. Like, just even with everything, that just putting a group together, all that shit, I just be wanting to do the same shit, just like, cause that's how I was. Just, I had the studio, I had this. I'm like, bro, niggas is good rappers, niggas is dope. Come to my spot, like, let's do this shit. I do your album, I do the group album, whatever. You feel me? So I look at myself similar in that way too. Like, you feel me? Just want to see if I got the game, if I know the knowledge, I'm gonna give it to you. And then if you go crazy with it and do what you're supposed to do with it, that's what you're supposed to do with it.
You're rare, I'll tell you that. And Nipsey was rare. Not a lot of people want to see successful people, I'd say, win. That's the perfect thing to say. It's tough. I mean, when you're successful, you know, I've heard your stories about the things that happen to you in your career. It happens to a lot of people, but you know, it's important that we have the people in your position that say, you know, I want to see you win. I'm not like the vultures out here.
Nah, for sure. Cause at the end of the day, it's like, we all, except for some people, everybody had a struggle for sure. But I mean, some people really just be flagging with their shit, but we all come from some kind of struggle, bro. We all trying to make a way in this shit. So when it's all said and done, it's like, bro, you come from what I come from. Like, you go through what I go through what you go through. Even though it's more people get to look at what I'm going through and say what they feel about it than it is maybe you, but we still going through the same shit. So it's just like, if you going through what I'm going through, I most definitely respect it. I most definitely feel you, and I most definitely want to see you come up out of that shit.
Yeah, it's important that you're doing that and just getting into the work that you have in the past. You were Mozzie, What's your relationship with Guap Dad 4000? Because you did have the chance to work with him on a song.
I had did a song. I think we on the song with Filthy. I think Filthy had put
Filthy,
that
yeah,
together.
Filthy Red.
Yeah, Filthy Rich. He had put that together. He had hit me about the song. I had did my part for him, and then he had put him on it.
Yeah, Guap Dad's another one of those personalities in hip hop, and he represents the Bay
So
too.
yeah, no, most definitely. He got his own little wave and shit. He on his own lane. Like that should be dope. Like that's open it up for people in the Bay Area to be able to be themselves. Cause it's like a lot of people think you gotta be just one way or like this or like that in order for people to pay attention or care for what you're talking about. So it'll cause a lot of people to be something that they not or portray something that they really won't do or that they really not with because they feel like this is going to have people support them. So when you got people like him who are able to just be themselves and make something out themselves, that takes away the excuse for everybody else that's putting up this image or facade and trying to be something in order to be successful. That's showing that you don't have to do that. You can just be yourself and go up still.
What was the most important conversation that you had with a legendary figure besides Nipsey Hussle? It could be anyone because it could be E-40, it could be anyone that you came across during your time in the game. It could be even, you work with Mozzie. Did you ever meet the game? Who's the artist that you would say that is of legendary status that you were able to have a good conversation with?
Um, I say E40 be giving me a lot of game like coming up. He was giving me a lot of game on shit, just on like on some don't get don't change who you is to match what you got now. Like if you fuck with this person or you got this, keep your solid foundation. Like don't switch up your foundation to match this shit. Like keep your foundation because at the end of the day, you gonna need that more than anything is your solid foundation. Then I say, um, it was two other things. I say Gucci Mane when I had did the song with him and Filthy. When I had did the hook, it was a remake to his original shit.
Yeah.
So when I had did the hook, he had told me like, yeah, this shit hard as fuck, bro. This shit dope as fuck. Like, keep going crazy. Like, that was just dope as fuck to me because I grew up on Gucci and it's like, I just did this shit to his shit and he hopped on it and he fucked with it and we shot the video. Like, that just goes to show something because it's like, okay, anybody could get on your shit, but that don't mean you gonna fuck with it.
No.
Like, but he fucked with it. So, and then the other one was it's Snoop Dogg. E-40 had ended up putting me in contact with Snoop Dogg because I just had wanted to meet him hella bad. So I'm like, fuck it. I think I got a little something like I'm got a little name to myself. Let me see if I could hit 40 and see if maybe he could get me in contact with Snoop. So I had hit 40. He had lined it up. So I had put up on Snoop Dogg, and at the time we was all still cool or whatnot. I had D-Boy come in there with me and shit. So we just in the stew, and I had this song called Ghetto. I end up putting D-Boy on it for our Demon and Mufasa mixtape. But I had this song called Ghetto. So I had sent it to him. They put it on the speakers. They start playing it. And then he just started doing his Snoop shit, like his Snoop moves, his little groove and shit. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, he feeling this shit. He feeling this shit. Then he like, man, this sound like some shit we would have made back in the day. Da, 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 da. And that's like, shit, that's all I needed to hear. Cause I'm like, damn, nigga, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do some shit like y'all would make back in the day. You talk about this, sound like some shit y'all would make back in the day. So I'm like, okay, mission complete. Like, I did my shit. So it's just a little shit like that, bro, that just be giving a nigga more encouragement, you feel me, to just know, like, just keep going with that shit.
Motivation. That's like epic and legendary at the same time. Snoop
Yeah, for
Dogg,
sure.
E-40, Nipsey Hussle. Man, that's a hell of a career, especially
Yeah.
that people acknowledge you like the legends. Because that's how I look at it. If you have the legends respect, you're golden, and you don't have to prove it to anyone else, not anyone your age. Once you're backed by the legends and the legends see something in you, it's all that matters.
No, for sure, for sure, for sure. Cause they know what it takes. So if they telling you like, yeah, you got what it takes, then shit, you must got what it takes.
Yeah. And you're one of those artists that actually respects the artists that came before him. There's a lot of young artists out here that they couldn't care less. All they care about is doing the numbers on the streaming platforms
Nah, for sure.
and
Cause
making their money.
me personally, like I'm not a numbers guy. I don't care about numbers
Yeah,
because before Nipsey Hussle passed, like everybody would talk shit about him because he didn't have this many numbers or that many numbers or whatever. But you could see the impact that he got.
Mm-hmm.
So that just go to show you that numbers mean nothing.
Nope.
It means something to the people who care about numbers and to like the famous and the higher echelon of the world, but to the real people, the everyday people who ain't never gonna see, who maybe not 100,000 at one time, or never gonna see 200, whatever. For them people though, it's like the shit that you saying means everything, and they living by that shit, and they listening to that shit, and it's getting them through all of the shit that they going through. Cause me not having my pops as a young nigga, only thing that I had got from my pops was a Tupac discography. So me being a young nigga, not growing up with my dad and just listening to this music, it's like it gave me a vision. It molded me. Like it was like talking to me deeper because I really felt the shit that he was saying. And it's just like he died in fucking 96. I was born in 98. So
2 years after.
I wasn't even alive when he was talking the shit that he talking about, but it's years later and I probably just listen to my shit about 10, 8, about 8 from 8 for sure. So I say 8. So about 2008, like from 1996 to 2008, you got a nigga growing up listening to this, like, and what you're saying still caters to what he got going on right now. That's timeless music. That means that you was really saying something. You wasn't just going in there trying to make a hit or trying to make the next hot record or sound good or had the most lyrics. You was going in there and you was telling the truth and giving your message. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that it's able to last the test of time. It ain't gonna last the test of time if you just going in there trying to do it because it sound good or saying some shit that sound good or some shit that you heard or just because it rhyme. That don't mean nothing. It gotta be something like that's real, that you really telling the truth, because when you tell the truth, somebody listening to it can say, damn, I just went through that yesterday, or I'm going through that right now, or damn, they was going through that back then too. So maybe it ain't that bad right now, or I could get through this shit, or whatever. Like, it ain't just me. You feel me?
Yeah. No, and that's why it's so important that we do have artists like you and explaining it in this great detail here tonight. But what's your most proudest performance? Is it Coachella? Because that Coachella was monumental for you.
I ain't gonna lie. Coachella, as far as what it means, what it meant, and like, yeah, basically that, like, for what it mean and shit like that. Definitely Coachella, because I think the year before we went, it was like Beyonce or something like that, and I think I was watching that shit, and it was just like, damn, like, I probably never. I wish I could do some shit like this, and then next year, a nigga doing it. So that was definitely monumental. But just as far as like the show itself, cause that's what I mean by like we ain't had them different kind of songs like the songs that everybody knew went crazy, but it's like the songs that everybody didn't know didn't have the right beat to the point to where they could just still go all the way up, even though they don't know it. But when we did Outside Lands in San Francisco, now that shit was crazy. Cause every single song went up, and they knew all the words to the songs, even not them popular songs, just like the album songs. They knew those songs too, and you couldn't even see the end of the crowd, bro. Like it was so far back that you couldn't even see it. Like, and I think like I think it was Janet Jackson and shit was that day and shit too. So it was like crazy. Like we probably came on like four people before Janet type shit. So it was like, I ain't gonna lie, that shit, like the Coachella shit was raw and dope as fuck. But that shit though, bro, like that was the first time I ever like couldn't see everybody. Like it was motherfuckers going up all, like you can't even see them, bro. Like it was crazy, bro. Some crazy shit.
That is crazy. Did you get the chance to meet Janet Jackson?
Nah. I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, I think we left after our set. We left. We ain't really stick around.
Eat the crowd.
Yeah, we ain't really stick around. We had spent out afterwards.
Yeah, but that's huge though. You know, that's something that you always remember. That's an accomplishment. Another check for the history books. And On My Momma 3, Angels and Demons, available on all platforms. Yhung T.O, is there anything else you'd love to tell my audience? Anything else, man?
Yeah, man, we got this Yhung T.O, Lil Sheik, Ballin' Like Tutu coming too soon. That's finna drop. And yep, that's pretty much it right now, man. Look out for these festivals and these shows coming up in October. I'll be posting them on my gram. And besides that, yep, just look out for that. Me and Sheik, Ballin' Like Tutu.
Yep, for sure. Let them know they could follow you on Instagram and Twitter, most importantly.
Yhung T.O, YHUNGTO. Everything is YHUNGTO.
You got that right. Yhung T.O, I want to thank you for coming on the show here today.
Totally appreciate you for having me, bro. You already know.
No doubt. I'd love to have you back to talk about the upcoming project you got with Sheik.
Sure. We definitely got to do it again. This ain't got to be the first or the last. You know.
Yeah, no, you got that right, man. I want you to enjoy the rest of your night and, stay safe out here, man.
All right. For sure. You too, man.
Peace, man.